Hi everyone, welcome back to my Wee3 series, and I've kind of landed on that name because years ago I had mentioned a few of my workouts and I may have referred to them as wee workouts. Now, if you've done any of my old workouts, you will know that they were anything but that. So I figured I will revive the name and sort of live up to it or live down to it a little bit more this time. So the idea behind this is a very doable workout and helping people get back on track or back into a more regular routine again. Such as myself, who wants to be able to do these videos on a regular basis. So if you want to know a little more about the background to this, then head over to whatever link is flashing on the screen right now. That'll take you to that video. You should see it, the little card exclamation mark at the top will take you there, and you can find out all about the introduction and why this sort of came about. Today's workout is going to be along the same lines, 3 exercises. I'm going to do 3 rounds, and I'm going to run through the exercises first of all, explain what they are and how to do them, how to regress them, how to progress them, all of that good stuff. And that's going to be probably the bulk of the start of the video after I stop talking. Then I'm going to go through 2 rounds as I'm doing it, but it's going to be edited, so just like a few reps here and there so you can get an idea of how it's going to look once it's together. And then the final round I will leave as a full round so that you can follow along, and hopefully if my camera doesn't like die in the middle of it or something, it should be the same length of the intervals as I'm doing, which is 40 seconds on and 20 seconds rest. If you're not at that level, then just do what you can, work along at your own pace, and just kind of use the video as motivation and kind of feeling like somebody's there training with you, and you can kind of progress that way. And then you can replay that round as many times as you want. And then I'll come back briefly to kind of sum up the end of the video. And once again, I do encourage you to subscribe to my channel, to follow along with this series, and also please share it, because I know that so many people struggle with getting into a regular routine if you're trying to come back to something or you're trying to achieve a specific goal and you just can't seem to make headway because it's all so overwhelming that the standard is set so high that it's impossible to ever feel like you're doing enough. And if there's one thing that I've struggled with a lot in my life, is this idea of that if I feel like what I'm doing is not enough, that then I think I am not being enough, or I am not valuable to the world, and I kind of often give up before I've even started. So what I would say, if those are the types of thoughts and feelings that you are struggling with, then it's time to call them into question. And I find this very useful to kind of stand back from these things and see them for what they are. They are thoughts, they are not part of me, and they are not in charge. You are in charge, and you can argue with these thoughts and say, well, actually I have some evidence against what you said, because if you're telling me that if I can't do something, then there's something wrong with me, then I'm going to suggest that that's not true, because in the past, when I've not managed to achieve something, I found another way. I've become resourceful. I've found my creativity increases, or I can eventually get around the problem. It's not accurate to think, well, if I can't do it, then that means, oh, I'm just a failure and I'm not going to be able to do anything. This particular thing right now. So there's a lot of things that you can do to kind of challenge these negative thoughts and kind of beliefs about ourselves. And this is just the start. It is a journey, and one that I am on, and it's not always straightforward walking forward kind of one. You kind of take a step forward, come back, go a little sideways, but eventually you can kind of roll with those sort of variations in direction as well, and say, okay, well, this is part of it, and I can accept that, and just see what, kind of hold on and anchor yourself in your existing gifts and strengths and the good things that you have going on in your life, the ways that you add value and the ways that other people add value to your existing life. So that's a little bit of I guess a ramble, but it's relevant to this because I think that we can often tie up in our identity the physical things that we can do, and also how we look as well, which is a huge one. So I hope you'll stay with me in this series. I do want to talk about more of this stuff because it really interests me, and it's something that's very freeing when you can actually talk about it and also ask yourself very important questions to sort of open these things up and really discover what it is you're getting from the things you're doing, and also the things that you believe about yourself. So let's wrap this up now and move on to the workout. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you'll still let me know in the comments below what you think of it, and also if you have any thoughts, any kind of initial reactions to this stuff. I do encourage you to share it because there will be people reading. You never know who's reading, and what you say might actually help them. And that's what this is all about. So I will see you briefly. I'll see you for most of the video in a minute when I go and do it. So I'll go and warm up here, and I'll see you in a second. So the 3 exercises we're going to work on today are the reverse lunge, the plank climber, and also one for a little more cardio, which is going to be the jump rope, or you can kind of work in jumping jacks. I don't really have a jump rope. I just have it's tied in knots, so it's cut, so it's not like a big loop, so that you kind of get the feeling of it, but it's not actually. So you can kind of pretend to have a jump rope and just kind of jog in the spot. So I'm going to run through, first of all, the reverse lunge. So you're going to start on, actually it's alternating, so that means obviously you're going to have to shift from one foot to the other as you're lunging back, and then you're going to go to the next side. So it does require a little bit of coordination. The main thing is that you plant your whole foot again, and you're going to sit back and down with one leg as far as you can go is comfortable. Now for some people that might be here, and with my other leg it's practically here, and you're trying to keep your chest upright, but you want to kind of shift your weight so you're not coming back with your weight. That's going to knock your balance off. It's going to make it even more difficult to get forward again. You want to kind of shift your torso so that you're over your leg. That sounded like I said leg, and that means that you're going to have better balance and sort of a better sort of grounding through that working leg. Now do remember this, take note that the front leg is your working side. That means when you're putting your weight back, you're not putting all of your weight into your back leg, because then you're here and then you have to kind of use a bunch of momentum to get you forward again, and then that kind of can cause problems with coordination. So you're going to sit back and down as far as you can go. You're not going to step too far back so you're getting a huge arch here. Just kind of a nice place. If you're too not far back enough, then you can kind of shift into like a wobbly position here. So somewhere in the middle, hands on the hips if you want to do just body weight, and then you're going to drive up, squeeze the butt to bring the hips forward, plant the other side, and then you're going to go into that side as well. Same idea. And as you can see, this is about as far as I'm going on this side. Now what I like to do is really just shift into the butt as well, so I can really just feel that tension here and through the leg. It's nice and stable and nicely gripped through the whole foot, and then driving back up again like so. Now if you want to hold weights, then You can progress this holding a goblet hold or some weight in the goblet hold position in the middle. This is harder because it's up high, so you can hold dumbbells by your side or one kettlebell on either one side or the other. But if it's in the middle or it's like by your side and it's symmetrical, then it's better for the alternating reverse lunge. Most people should be able to do a version of this. If you're struggling, this is a great one. This is what I've been doing quite recently in the gym on my bad side, is I've actually been holding on to the Smith machine or the bar so that I can assist myself back up again. So if you want, sometimes I even hold on to this windowsill and be able to then steady myself as I work through the exercise. You can hold on to a chair or something that you can be able to have that support. Then, moving on to our lovely plank climber. I suspect that this one will be way more challenging for more people than I think. So let's start with what it is. What the standard version of it is you're in a plank and you're pushing your hand up underneath your shoulder, and then you're going into the upward plank here, then you're going back down again, and then you're going to go back up on the other side, and then carry on like this for the time. And it's a killer. So how do we make it easier? We can make it easier by widening the stance so you're not going to rock as much and the core can rest a bit more. But this is still going to require some more upper body strength than some people are able to do right now. So you can also do these from your knees. So the butt's not in the air, you're bringing the hips down flat, squeezing the butt a bit, and then you can go from side to side like this. And try your best to keep your hands underneath your shoulders, elbows tucked in so they're not flaring away out. The more your elbows flare out like this, the harder it is on your triceps, and the triceps are often very easily fatigued. So if your arms are in a bit more, then you can use bigger muscles here in the chest and shoulders to help along with the triceps. And if that's still too difficult, then what we can do is into just a plank hold, wider stance, and then just sort of hold that on your hands. You can also elevate your hands up onto a bench and just kind of be in a straight line. If you want to add some little bit of additional ab work in whenever you're either elevated or on the floor, you can bring your knee up to tuck the opposite elbow or close enough to it that you can kind of feel your abs moving. That's a good alternative. You're still working your upper body by holding that position. You're working your core as well, and some stability there as well. So that's that one. This is it was either that or the push-up, and I figured this one because it's a nice sort of, still gets the heart rate up a bit. So then the last exercise is going to be our cardio exercise, and for me I'm going to be doing invisible skipping, but you can also do jumping jacks. So essentially my husband, he made this little knots in the rope. It's being cut so I don't need to worry about the ceiling, and then it kind of still gives you the impression of doing skipping. You can kind of just jog on the spot. You don't have to have these. You can kind of just jog on the spot anyway, as if you're skipping. I would recommend that one, you know, the kind of jogging one, over like just jumping, because this is kind of a more natural movement, I think. The alternative, as I mentioned, was the jumping jack. And just take your time with this. You know, there is a bit of jumping going on, obviously being called the jumping jack. So just like jump as wide as is comfortable and then back in. And it seems like an easy exercise, but it's not. Your calves will be on fire, and you know, just don't jump too hard. Just land kind of softly as well. That really concludes the tutorial. So that means and I'm fairly well warmed up. Let's get started into the workout. As I said, the first 2 rounds are going to be edited, and then the final round you can train along with me for that. So in the meantime, enjoy the demo of me dying in the heat. Reverse lunge. Oh, alternating reverse lunge. So all you're doing, I don't know why I'm talking. I'm supposed to just be demonstrating. Just with this, how I always finish my hip extension, so I don't stop like here. I bring it all the way forward, squeezing my butt. This is an old favourite of mine, and I'm wondering why it was a favourite. Okay. Good. Oops. So, lipstick. It's getting warm. Oh, okay. Achoo! That's me. Off we go. All right. Let's get this burst of energy. Round 2. Oh, that doesn't last. Oh, thank goodness. This probably won't. Oh. Okay. Off we go. I hit something. Oh my goodness. Okay, final round. Let's do this together. Alternating reverse lunge. Go as deep or as shallow as you need to, and as quickly and as slowly as you need to. And you can use body weight, or you can load it up as much as you want. Remember, we're not just looking for best performance of your entire life. If that was the case, I'd be losing the battle, but right now it's about getting something done, not being perfect, and that being enough. Awesome. So walk it out and get ready for flying climber. Kind of wondering why I'm doing the full round at the 3rd one, because I have to keep going. Alright, let's go. Remember, you can widen the stance if you need more stability. Tense the core, squeeze the glutes, keep your elbows tucked in a little bit so you're not flaring them out, making it more difficult for yourself. And don't talk like what I'm doing, because it makes it worse. Okay, if you need to, you could go from your knees and finish the round, or you can go into plank. There we go. At any point, you can regress the exercise down. You can start off with the more difficult level that you can manage, and then just make it easier as the workout goes on. Alright, skipping or jumping jacks or jogging on the spot. Just kind of a nice pace. Remember to breathe. Sometimes we can kind of hold our breath, hoping it's going to end. But breathing makes it easier. Alright, we're nearly there. This is the final round for me. If it's the final round for you, then yay. If not, sorry. Oh, I'm gonna hit myself. Alright. What was the mantra that I wrote on my blog? Done is better than perfect. So well done for everyone who has achieved this today, even if it's not 3 exercises or 3 rounds, that you're doing something, and that you're doing something that you're able to do and willing to do. That's the most important thing. Whoever has to continue, pause this, have a little bit of a break, and then rewind and continue on. And I'm just going to get cool down down here, a few stretches, just to kind of speed up the process of recovery, or at least feeling mentally recovered from success is kind of its own reward, but letting the body cool down, the heart rate come back to normal, and I'll see you in just a second. Okay everyone, that's it for today. Thank you so much for following along, and please remember to, if you haven't already, to subscribe and share this video. I'd really love it for other people to join in and really benefit from just that lower bar and the attitude of, okay, I can do this. I have what it takes to take this first step. I don't need to take the first 5 steps in one go. It's all about making it manageable. And if you haven't already, if you want to subscribe to my newsletter, then head over to myownmytv.com and you can fire your email in there. I don't bombard people very often with emails, but when I do, it's normally to share a recent blog post or an offer that I've got on, or just random musings from the brain. So I do hope that you'll subscribe there. I would love to have you as part of my more intimate community. And once again, I hope to see you in the next video, which will be up in just a couple of days. And until then, I'll see you soon.